Let me turn to the Indian Ocean. As always, we have these conversations. I go to conferences around the world as the dean of the Fletcher School, former Supreme Allied Commander. So I go to Davos and the Munich Security Conference at Shangri-La and wonderful events like this. So often, we manage to get through an hour and a half of geopolitics, and we never mention India, which is ridiculous. Here is a nation that will very soon surpass China as the most populous in the world. It has enormous demographic upside. It's young and growing, unlike China, unlike Europe. United States, flat to slightly growing. In this 21st century, a rising population, in the end, will drive productivity if managed well. India has a new, relatively new, dynamic leader, has English as a lingua franca among the elites, and above all, India is a democracy. Here in the United States, I'm ashamed to say, we had 200 million eligible voters. 100 million of us, half, showed up at the polls. India's last election, the one that brought Mr. Modi to power, had 860 million people voted. It's a democracy. It is the world's largest democracy. Thus, I think the Indian Ocean, which has been kind of a transit zone over the last 4 or 5 centuries, is rapidly becoming a space of geopolitical criticality. India and Pakistan both have significant navies. That kind of tension will play out in the Indian Ocean. The Arabian/Persian Gulf, which is a sidewater, if you will, of the Indian Ocean, we see on today's headlines as we watch Qatar pull away from Saudi Arabia, or more accurately, Saudi Arabia and the UAE pull away from Qatar. We see Russia intervening. We see Iran playing a shadow game in the background. A very complex set of relationships in the Gulf, which I would argue will bleed into the Indian Ocean as well. From a maritime perspective, as well as from many other perspectives, the United States will be well served in this 21st century to solidify our relationships with India, critical potential partner for us.